Several states in India have enacted anti-conversion legislations. The most recent was the Haryana Assembly, which passed the Haryana Prevention of Unlawful Conversion of Religion Bill 2022. According to the Haryana Chief Minister, the bill is aimed to instill fear among those who commit conversion crimes. But many opposing these legislations believe that there have not been many convictions related to such forceful conversions, and there is no data to support the existence of religious conversion by force.
Well, the issue of anti-conversion bills in our country is not new. The first one was tabled and whatever passed in as far back as 1967 in Orissa, and the subsequent year MP passed it, and a similar legislation, and then subsequently now about 8 states have passed these legislations. So this has been going on. The fact of the matter is that to the best of my knowledge, till date, not even a single conviction has been procured on these laws. So what is the real purpose of the law is the question.
There is no data whatsoever to support the claim that large-scale conversions are happening. If we look at the census data, India's census data, there is a nominal increase in the percentage, or I think if I'm not wrong, it's 0.2% increase in the population of the Christians, and overall Muslim population also, the growth patterns are falling. So there is no data to support this whole accusation that conversions are happening, first of all.
Those opposing these legislations say that the bill is being used as a pretext to attack minorities in the country and slap cases against them. In Uttar Pradesh alone, the police have registered over 100 cases under the controversial anti-conversion ordinance.
For the last 1 year, in fact 2021, United Christian Forum has actually identified it to be the most violent year for Christians all over the country. Specific to Karnataka, we have found that at least 39 attacks against Christians, pastors, believers, something we saw on the ground till the November of 2021. And any of us who've been following the news at this day know that right before the anti-conversion bill got tabled in the assembly session, we saw a spike in the number of cases of attacks on Christians.
Muslims are not being allowed to offer namaz in the open ground in Gurgaon. And those who are preventing them from offering the namaz, there is no sort of action taken on them by the police.
This act is being used to harass, used to torture, used to beat. In 1 year, last year 1 year, 39 such cases of harassment, beating believers, beating pastors, attacking church, threatening the devotees. Where are the evidences?
But let's wait. In the next few years, the court will throw out these cases because they are all fabricated charge sheets. This has happened before in Gujarat. This has happened before in other parts of the country.
The anti-conversion laws enacted by these governments are being challenged in many states over their constitutionality. Many feel these laws are unconstitutional and are intended to create a religious divide in the country.
This is anti-constitutional. Karnataka is the 9th state to pass this. The right to faith is fundamental right. Article 25 of Constitution clearly says anybody can actually profess, propagate, practice any faith. It is individual right. It is fundamental right.
Effectively, we are seeing today that from being bailable offences, they've now become non-bailable offences. From being non-cognizable offences, they have now become cognizable offences. We're specifically seeing how the definition of allurement has become broader and broader and broader.
Additionally, because they are in power in so many states and in the center, now they have the additional support of backing it up with law. And even if somebody was to challenge the constitutionality of these laws in the Supreme Court or any other court, it will take a few years, or at least decades perhaps, to sort of come to any conclusion or come to any sort of legal kind of a fruition. And in the meantime, the BJP continues doing its politics and continues to gain the votes. So that is the larger, sort of strategy here.
IPC sections are there. There are many sections. So that the same thing can be actually used. But why there is a special law for it? There is no need. It's only these 9 states. In other states, why other states are not actually having this kind of act? This is actually central government which is pushing, and the ruling government, the BJP government, is actually pushing in their own states.
But the ones favoring the anti-conversion laws stick to their guns. According to them, forceful conversions are a reality, and the poor are being enticed, exploited, and converted.
भारत में हालांकि एक कानून ये है कि आप अपना मत बदल सकते हैं, अपनी पूजा पद्धति बदल सकते हैं, लेकिन उसके कुछ शर्तें हैं संविधान की। वो शर्तें हैं कि आप लोभ लालच से आप धर्मांतरण नहीं कराएंगे, आप बलपूर्वक धर्मांतरण नहीं कराएंगे। और इसके बाद भी नॉर्थ ईस्ट में देखिए आप, और नॉर्थ ईस्ट भी छोड़ दें तो जहाँ पर ऐसी बस्तियां हैं जहाँ पर वंचित समाज रहता है, आर्थिक दृष्टि से विपन्न समाज रहता है, तो सेवा के नाम पर उनका बिल्कुल अंधाधुंध धर्मांतरण हो रहा है।
At the heart of this debate is the issue of Ghar Wapsi, which is religious conversion to Hinduism from Islam, Christianity or other religions based on the Hindu nationalist ideology that all people of India were originally Hindus and they must be allowed to return to their original roots.
दूसरा, जहाँ तक घर वापसी की बात है तो ये बाध्यता नहीं है। जो व्यक्ति, ये तो मान्यता है ये कि भाई भारत में जो मुसलमान 95-96% तक ही और उससे भी ज्यादा संख्या हो सकती है जिनका ओरिजिन भारत से है, जिनके पुरखे भारत के हैं, जिनके पुरखे हिंदू हैं, और आज अगर उनको लगता है कि मुझे अपने घर वापस जाना चाहिए, अपने धर्म में वापस जाना चाहिए, उस समय की परिस्थिति रही होगी कि हमने मुसलमान धर्म स्वीकार कर लिया है, मुसलमान हम बन गए हैं, लेकिन आज मुझे अपने घर वापस जाना चाहिए, तो उनके लिए कोई बाध्यता नहीं आए, हम उनको स्वागत करेंगे। और बड़े पैमाने पर जितने आना चाहे उतने आए, उसका भी हम स्वागत करेंगे।
Many also feel that these anti-conversion laws are a result of the BJP's larger agenda of polarizing the country on the basis of religion to pave way for a Hindu Rashtra.
It's a new trend. It has been Hindus, Muslims, Christians and all other religions. We have been actually living together in harmony. But all of a sudden, this has come up especially in the BJP ruled states. And this BJP wants to establish Hindu Rashtra. It is not BJP's, it is RSS Hindu Rashtra. Yeah, the concept is being executed through BJP.
So we need to look at it as a part of the larger project of Hindu Rashtra, where a lot of emphasis is on manufacturing and raising insecurities in the minds of the Hindus.
और यहाँ तक कि भी पिछले वर्ष आपने देखा होगा कि लगभग 1000 लोगों का धर्मांतरण इस्लाम में हुआ था, और उसमें उन्होंने मूक बधिर को भी नहीं छोड़ा था, जो बोल नहीं सकता, सुन नहीं सकता, तो उसका भी धर्मांतरण करा लिया इन्होंने। इतना निकृष्ट काम कर रहे हैं। तो इस्लाम हो चाहे ईसाईयत हो, ये दोनों भय से और लालच से, दोनों से ये धर्मांतरण कर रहे हैं सारे देश में, और ये कहीं न कहीं देश के लिए खतरा बनता जा रहा है।
When it comes to playing religious politics, not just the BJP, some feel other political parties must also be held responsible for playing divisive politics and for using secularism conveniently.
This is not limited to BJP in that sense. I think it will be, I would be wrong in saying that the political affiliations to this bill and political intent of this bill is limited to that. We have seen other political parties historically in Orissa being about in Orissa, Madhya Pradesh, Tamil Nadu, non-BJP parties bringing these bills. So I think it is to do with the rise of majoritarianism in the country, and I think there's also a need to talk about how this is to minoritize existing minorities already.
I would say that other political parties such as the Congress and so many others have also from time to time been indulging in this kind of politics, communal politics. So right now it's the BJP's star is on the ascendant. They are there, in so many numbers of states, and they are sort of the ruling ideology, and that's why it's happening in their states. But so many things which can be attributed even to those who have been part of the Congress governments.
Another concept that is at the heart of these conversations is love jihad, which according to the BJP and its sister organizations is the allurement tactic used by minority religions to lure Hindu girls by way of marriage to convert them to their religion.
इसको हम लव जिहाद का नाम देते हैं। ये केरल से विषय चला है। कानपुर की घटना आपको ध्यान में होगी। कानपुर में लगभग 24 घटनाएं एक बार की एक साथ नजर आई, आइडेंटिफाई की गई। उसमें एक केस ऐसा आया था, वो केस था उसने कहा कि मैं तो स्वयं प्यार करती हूँ, लेकिन बाकी सारी घटनाएं और मैक्सिमम केस देश भर में आ रहे हैं कि लड़कियों ने बताया कि ये टीका लगा करके और कलावा बांध करके नाम बदल करके ये प्रायः प्यार करते हैं। तो हम इसको नजरअंदाज नहीं कर सकते हैं, क्योंकि समाज की जो बहुलता है, जो समाज है, वो सबके हित में कौन सी चीज रहेगी, इस पर विचार करके ऐसे कानून बनते हैं।
There is a detailed account, there is a book, it's on love jihad, and they have investigated all those cases of love jihad in those 7-8 districts of western UP, and they consistently investigated them for about 3 years. In fact, I reviewed it for the Open magazine. I'm just not remembering the names now. So they found every case which was so very well highlighted, particularly in the TV channels, in the Hindi TV channels, and based on that the entire UP civil society was polarized. They investigated them personally for 3 years, and they found all of them were fabricated cases, and they found some of them were genuinely couples in love who were now happily married and living together and living a happily dignified, fulfilled life. But meantime, when these cases were put against them, their entire family's lives were ruined.
The anti-conversion laws have divided society into seeing people as us and them. And as long as both sides have strong views and unreasonable hatred against the other, solutions will not be in sight, at least for the foreseeable future.
अगर कोई मुसलमान है तो उसको हत्या करने का अधिकार नहीं मिल जाता। अगर कोई मुसलमान है तो उसको जालसाजी करने का अधिकार नहीं मिल जाता।
I challenge anyone, ask any Dalit who converted either to Islam or Christianity, tell them whether they will go back for the sake of that benefit. Is that benefit enough to keep them in that faith?
अगर मुसलमान है तो उसको हवाला करने का अधिकार नहीं मिल जाता है। अगर मुसलमान है तो उसको धर्मांतरण करने का अधिकार नहीं मिल जाता है।
If हिंदू खतरे में है, खतरे किस बात की है? आप अंदर देखो ना। Talk about honor killing. Own mother and father are killing their daughters with their own hands.
और अगर मुसलमान है तो वो ये अधिकार नहीं मिल जाता कि उस पर कोई आरोप नहीं लगाए, क्योंकि वो मुसलमान है। और इस मुसलमान होने की आड़ में ये बहुत सारे काम चल रहे हैं।
एंड जो क्या खतरे में है? खतरे में है आपकी ब्राह्मणिज्म और पेट्रियार्की, आपके कास्ट सुपीरियरिटी और आपके डोमिनेशन ऑफ विमेन, वो ही खतरे में है।